Hi everyone, welcome to my first ANSYS tutorial video. If you're completely new to ANSYS and you feel confused when you first open the workbench, then this video is for you. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what ANSYS Workbench is, how its interface is organized, and how a simulation project is built step by step. If you've never used ANSYS before, don't worry. In this video, I'll give you a very simple introduction to ANSYS Workbench so you can understand the interface and start with confidence. Okay, first of all, ANSYS is an engineering simulation software. Engineers use it to study how products and systems behave before building the systems in real life. For example, we can use ANSYS to analyze stress, deformation, heat transfer, fluid flow, and many other physical phenomena. ANSYS Workbench is the environment that we organize and manage the simulation workflow. You can think of Workbench as the main platform that connects different tools together. So the Workbench itself is not a project solver. ANSYS Workbench is like a project workspace. It helps us build a simulation step by step. Instead of doing everything in one window, Workbench organizes the whole process into connected stages. So when I say workflow, this is exactly what I mean. In most simulation projects, we usually follow a sequence like this. First, we define or import the geometry. Then, we assign materials of our geometry. Then, we create the model and we mesh the geometry. After that, we apply loads or boundary conditions we finally solve the problem and review the results. So if you look at the graphical interface of Workbench on the left side, you will see toolboxes. The toolbox contains different analysis systems that we can add to our project. For example, we can choose static structural for a basic structure analysis, modal for natural frequency analysis, fluent for CFD, or steady state thermal for thermal simulations, and etc. So in the toolboxes, you see the different solvers that you have to choose for your specific projects, and it's your choice to choose which solver for your project to solve. So basically, the toolbox is where we choose the type of analysis we want to perform. Sometimes the project can use only one solver, or sometimes the project needs two or more solvers to be solved. The more the project is complicated, the more solvers you may need to use. So in the middle, we have project schematic. Project schematic is exactly your workbench. It's the place when you put your tools to solve the project. This is where simulation workflow appears. So I can show you that. You can use a typical solver like static structural and drag it into project schematic. As you see, it appears here. And each cell in project schematic represents one stage of the simulation process. This layout helps us understand where we are in the project and what still needs to be done. When you're using multiple solvers to see their properties, you can use this part in view and choose properties. And if you click on every solver or every part of this solver, its properties will appear. In this part, in units, you can choose the unit system of your project. Please note that you can modify the unit system in every solver, but when you modify the units in Workbench, the unit system will be applied to all of the solvers that you're using in your Workbench, in your project schematic. Okay, now I'm going to explain you each cell of every solver in ANSYS. First step is the engineering data. The first cell of static structure. This is where we define or select material properties. For example, if we want to use structural steel, aluminum, or another material, this is where that information comes from. If you double click on engineering data, this is the environment that appears. In this environment, if you go to engineering data source, you can select every material that you want for your project. The first part is engineering data source, and it shows us the categories of materials that can be found in ANSYS. And for example, I go to general materials. In general materials, I select gray cast iron. By this plus sign, you can select the materials. I choose gray cast iron and polyethylene. Then by clicking again on engineering data source, you will be brought to this part that shows the materials of your project. Structural steel is default. Every project has this material as default material. And you can see these two materials that I have been adding to the project manually. And by clicking in every one of them, you can see the properties of the material and everything you need, and you can modify them by clicking on them and changing them, for example, like this. So if I close the engineering data, my changes will be applied to the project, and you can see a green check mark on the engineering data. This means that engineering data modification has been done. The first step is geometry. Here we create the geometry or import it from CAD software. By right-clicking on the geometry, you can create a new geometry in three environments: Discovery, Space Claim, and Design Modeler. These are the CAD softwares that ANSYS use to make geometries. If you have pre-designed CAD files, you can import them from import part. So in simple words, geometry is the shape of the part or system we want to analyze. Then we have the model cell. This usually opens ANSYS Mechanical, where we prepare the simulation model in more detail. Inside Mechanical, we can create the mesh, assign materials, define contacts, apply supports and loads, and prepare the problem for solving. After the model is prepared, we move to the solution stage. This is where we tell ANSYS what results we want to calculate, such as total deformation, equivalent stress, or strain. After solving, we can review the results visually using contour plots, graphs, and other post-processing. One important thing to understand in Workbench is the status of each cell. Workbench uses icons and colors to show whether a step is complete, needs attention, or needs to be updated. For example, if you change the geometry or material, some downstream cells may need to be updated. This means the project is connected and one change can affect the later stages of workflow. This is why Workbench is called a connected simulation environment. So this was a first step look at ANSYS Workbench. The main idea is that Workbench helps us organize the full simulation process in a clear and connected way. In the next video, we'll go one step further and create our first simple simulation project step by step. Thank you for your attention, and see you in the next lessons.